Hello, Frog fans. Welcome back to Post Game Beers Podcast. We are the Lupton Drinking Club. I'm Kyle Malloy, joined by my co-host Jacob Sailors, and we've got Ray Cartwright here tonight. I'm excited to bring you another episode talking about a winning Frogs team for the week, 3-1 on the week. We're going to get into the games. Excited about that. But fellas, I want to start here. A lot of April showers, and as we know, those bring May flowers. Do you have a favorite flower that you enjoy receiving as a gift?
I can't say that anyone has ever given me flowers. So
You're supposed to lay out on him there.
That's going to change our podcast, right? Everyone's going to be bringing you flowers this weekend, right?
Pick me some bluebonnets.
There you go.
MK, not a true Texan, knows that that's illegal.
It is. It is a big season for people stopping on the side of the road for pictures, though.
Yeah.
Throw your kids into a patch and take some pictures.
Hey, let's pile in the family van, go sit next to this busy interstate.
So, hey, real quick.
I've seen it on my way to Lupton for Sunday games. I guess people get out of church and they're like, let's go to the highway and find some wildflowers and go sit in them.
So real quick, I've heard it's illegal. Is that a truth? Is that like true thing that you cannot pick bluebonnets, or is that a myth?
I think it's one of those things where it's illegal on the books, but who's going to enforce it kind of deals.
No, I've heard a DPS trooper will pull up. Like they have ways to track every bluebonnet in the state of Texas.
No,
as soon as one gets picked, it like sends something to some database, and
there's no way that's true.
There's a little community actually it's inside Fort Worth called River Oaks, and many of their houses have bluebonnets all over their yard. There's no way they would know if you picked one or two just for funsies.
Reminds me of I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen the clip of that Ted movie with the teddy bear, and Seth MacFarlane voices him.
Yeah.
And
Marky Mark. It's got Marky Mark.
Liam Neeson goes in, and the bear is working at the grocery store. And he goes, I see that these tricks are just for kids. And they go back and forth about, well, if I buy these, are you going to tell on anyone? Is somebody going to follow me home and make sure that I don't eat these?
All right, so we've got the Stars tonight. How are we feeling?
Yep. Because they always lose game one and then win game two. That's why I bought game two tickets and not game one.
So you're heading to game two tonight.
It's all going according to plan.
Okay.
Huh?
You're heading to game two tonight.
Yes.
All right, excellent. That's why we've got a hard out in about 22 minutes. And
right.
And that's how fast this episode's going to go. So, all right. Any other preamble before we get to the good stuff?
No.
You sticking with us? You alive, brother?
Barely, dude. Allergies are killing me. Those with those April showers bring April allergies too.
Okay.
Did you guys find the series kind of boring for the first 16 innings or so?
We're gonna get to that.
Okay.
I do want to talk about that if we can get to the end.
I like to make mental notes about talking points for the show, and I'm like, series was kind of boring.
Yes, it was.
Kind of boring.
Before we get there, the Patreon, $6 a month. LDC Patreon, you're going to get some extra episodes, actually 2 extra episodes per week, Wednesday and Thursday. You get some extra articles from Martin and Jacob, and whenever Ray wants to chime in. We've got a lot of subscribers at this point and really appreciate those who have subscribed. So thank you. That's our first one. And then also to thank you to Long Drink, our longest running subscriber. Always good and refreshing and perfect time of year to grab some long drink. So let's jump into game one.
Yeah.
Frogs were up 3-1 after 4 innings before BayLOR got hot. Unfortunately, scoring 10 runs after that at the next 4 innings. Frogs only put up 7 hits. Dallimore was the only guy on the team with more than 1. 1 walk on the night. I found that interesting. I feel like we're a heavy walk team, so that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
We always talk about the negative aspects of like runners left on base, but there was only 4 on Friday, which tells me that nobody was doing anything offensively. I mean, we just couldn't get guys on base.
Okay, so this was the fifth straight conference game in which TCU failed to score more than 5 runs. And Lucas Davenport's a pretty good pitcher, but are you guys as tired of as I am of having to tip our caps to the other pitcher?
Yes.
It's getting real old.
Well, when you've got Baumler and Brassfield pitching, I'm like, these guys they're pretty good, and I don't know what's going on. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean that game got away from us late, but what does that game look like if our offense is putting up any kind of fight? You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
So I didn't get a chance to watch any of it. I was out, and by the time I tuned in, I was like, "Oh, it's a close game." And then I turned on it later, and I was like, "Wait, 10-4? Like, what happened? What happened?" So,
Right.
any thoughts from Friday night besides?
Yeah, at 4-3, it felt pretty dire. At 5-3, it really felt like, man, this feels like it might as well be 15-3 at this point. And I didn't even make it to the 8th when, they put up 5 to really pull away. Basically, once they scored their 6th and the 7th, I said, that's it. We're not coming back from this one.
I have a lot of thoughts. My first one was like, "Oh man, really wish Tommy Lepore was pitching." And then I'm like, "Wait a second, I don't know if he would have made any difference. Like the offense still has to hit some balls."
Right. Yeah, we talked about this a little bit on the deep dish about, okay, TCU, we have this excuse of we lost Tommy Lepore. How many more conference wins would we have with Tommy Lepore? Now, it's not just simply inserting him in on Friday and saying how many Friday games. There's a cascading effect, right?
Right.
But I'm not so sure. I mean, maybe, but does Zach James make it into the rotation if we have Tommy Lepore?
Which is crazy because he's dominating, which we'll talk about later.
Dude, he's on. I know we're jumping to game 3, but he's on a all conference pace right now, like
Yes.
first team all conference.
Yes, absolutely. All right, Ray, thoughts on Friday night? The Frogs go down 0-1, and we were expecting them to kind of come out hot, and it was the opposite of that.
Yeah, I mean, Jacob kind of hit the nail on the head, or head on the nail on the head. I don't know. Anyways, with this offense, when, pitching got away from them late, but if they put up any kind of resistance, any kind of fight, I mean, they did kind of make it a 5-4 kind of game. Traeger hit a home run.
Did you feel like we were in the game at that point, though, even though we were only down 1? Did it feel like, okay, here we go?
Anything can happen kind of late, right?
Well, we know that now because of Saturday, but at the time, were you thinking, yeah, they got it in them?
No, because it was kind of one inept at bat after another.
Yeah, it was.
Save for the Traeger home run.
Which is nice to see, just on an individual level.
Hey, but Jacobs, sometimes you just got to tip your cap to the other pitcher.
Oh, God. For the 50th time of the season. So we're now 2-4 on Fridays.
In conference.
In conference.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Which is pretty abysmal. All right.
Yep.
Obviously, we'll get more into that during the deep dish, but let's move on to game 2. So bump to Sunday, obviously the rain, doubleheader. Frogs needed these last 2 games to kind of, salvage the season. I don't know if we want to get that crazy.
It's not a stretch to say that, no.
Okay.
Hey, MK, before you get into the games, going into the doubleheader, before first pitch on Sunday, how are you feeling?
Bad. Angry.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting you say angry. Didn't you get all that out of I know we didn't do post-game beers last week, and I'm really glad we didn't, but dude, I got all that out of my system after the Arizona debacle.
Okay, I'll change it. Apathetic. How about that?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to tell you how to feel. I'm just surprised you would say angry. How much anger can you have?
Well, the thing is, I didn't watch the game, so when I saw the initial thing, I was like, "You've got to be kidding me!" Right? They should have come out like roaring to go, like just they got to pick this, the whole season up. And so on Saturday, to be honest, I didn't even watch the first couple innings because I'm like, I'm going to kind of wait to figure out what's going on before.
Nobody watched any baseball on Saturday.
If I should, on Sunday.
How many more times did you want to watch them go 1, 2, 3 in an inning and
exactly
just go through the motions?
Yeah. With that said,
go ahead.
It started out kind of a stinker. It was 4-0 Baylor,
kind of a stinker.
through 7 innings. Frogs had 5 hits up to that point. They loaded the bases 2 times, nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, super frustrating.
It's kind of a theme through conference play. It feels like they will load the bases a lot on you and get absolutely nothing out of it.
They will pressure you, but not hit that
That's-
valve.
We've talked about this before with if you don't have a lot of power in your offense, you're relying on sequencing a lot of at-bats together to score runs. You know what I'm saying? So like you may have a walk, a hit, and a walk, and that's great. But now you're relying on a 4th guy to come through to score any runs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When you don't have a lot of power threats, a lot of extra base hit or home run power in the lineup. Now, they've shown it at times that they're capable of it, but when they go, I mean, we're talking 16 straight innings in this game, and they had 4 runs total.
I would love to know how many times they've loaded the bases this year and not gotten like more than 1 run, you know?
Right.
So interestingly, Baylor's closer comes in the 8th to try to shut things down. And that's when Kramer singles, Sawyer walks, and that's when Chase MF Brunson goes ham and hits a home run to make it interesting. Now, that was the only 3 runs they scored in the inning, but it changed the energy of the game for sure. I was not going to lie. I'm watching it. I was kind of disappointed they didn't go for more because the at-bats after that were pretty uninspiring. I'll say that.
We just had to get it back to Chase again, I guess.
Yeah. So that's all they got in the inning. But you could, again, the energy shifted. So Quinn came on, shut down the Bears in the 8th. It comes up the 9th, and it kind of started in a similar fashion. So Franco walks, Kramer walks. They both advanced on a wild pitch, which was interesting because that led Stroh-Snyder to just getting intentionally walked to load the bases. I think it was a 2-2.
Can we? I know we said, after the Arizona State Friday night game, like there's no situation in the world you would walk Sawyer Stroh-Snyder, but after this weekend, he's now 4 or 6 for his last 41.
Maybe they should have pitched
him. Maybe. Now I get that we're talking about matchups here, lefty righty, that kind of deal, but who would MK, you're a pitcher or you're a coach for the other team. Would you rather pitch to Brunson or Stroh-Snyder right now?
At this part of the season, Stroh-Snyder.
Right now. Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. So that walk, they go ahead and walk, and I'm like, was that the best move?
Yeah.
Do you really want Brunson up?
So
you're choosing to pitch to Brunson?
The only thing going for it was a 3-1 count when they walked him. So
it was, but had they not put on that double steal that resulted in like a wild pitch anyway, they were not giving him anything to hit. It was going to be an intentional walk.
Yeah.
Like they were pounding breaking balls in the dirt that weren't even close. They had no interest in throwing him a strike.
He usually gets 1 pitch every at bat.
And he's not hitting him right now.
Right. He's not seeing it. So everyone knows the story, but Stroh-Snyder walks, and then Brunson gets up there, almost hits a grand slam, probably 1 to 2 feet away from one, but ends up hitting a 2-run double off the wall. Frogs go up 5-4, and Seguspie comes in the 9th and shuts Baylor down and doesn't let anybody on base.
Yeah, pretty close to a season-saving win right there. And, other guys got on base, but, like we said, if you don't have that power threat in the lineup, you're leaving yourself at risk of leaving those guys on. And thankfully, Brunson pulled the season out of the fire right there.
Hey, in that top of the 9th, before, was that where they had that wacky kind of double challenge where I think TCU challenged whether Franco was out at second or not, and Baylor was challenging whether or not Griffin was out at first?
No, that wouldn't have been in the 9th.
And they were calling it safe?
That wasn't the 9th because I was paying attention at that point. No, Franco walked, and then just bunted him over. And so it was just an easy, first pitch, Colton Griffin bunted him over, got him to scoring position.
Yeah.
Actually, it wasn't Franco. He was a pinch run for. Let's see.
Gamster came into
Gamster.
pinch run.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
let's talk real quick on this game. Lance Davis, 4 runs on 6 hits,
Dude.
2 walks, 5 strikeouts. What did you think of his game that day? Or on Sunday?
I'm almost to the point where I'm expecting this out of him. He's been that good. We're now 5-1 on Saturdays. 2-4 on Fridays, 5-1 on Saturdays, and a big part of that is the guy on the mound, Lance Davis.
Dude, just what a baller effort, because he got tagged pretty hard in the shoulder in like the first or second inning. So much so that he was like laying on the ground, like beating the grass because it stung so bad. And then just a couple innings after that, like the broadcast was talking about, I guess maybe he had some blister problems. They had to put some, he had a bloody finger.
Glad he was able to pitch through that. If he could figure out first innings, he would be as unstoppable as Zach James is right now. This is what's crazy about this game. So we win 5-4, but BayLOR had the first 2 kill shots of this game, and they're playing at home. Your odds of winning when you get the first 2 kill shots of a game and you're at home, it's something like 97, 98%.
Is kill shot 2 runs or more?
2 runs or more without a response from. So like in the first we go scoreless, they
response.
Score 2.
That's the key part of it, is no response after that.
Exactly. So in the 5th, we didn't score, they scored 2. That's 2 kill shots through the first 5 innings. But then we got the last 2 kill shots with 1 extra run. Pulled it out.
So did you catch
very improbable win? And
did y'all catch
we kind of needed that. We needed an improbable win.
Improbable. Did y'all catch Kirk's interview during the game by any chance?
No. What did we miss?
I thought he didn't do one till the second game.
So I'm pretty sure he was on this game, but it was Frogs were up to bat, and Kramer gets a nice base hit, and he's talking to the guys and having fun, and they're like, he's like, all right, I'm going to hang on for a while, right? And they kind of get through their questions, their standard questions. They're like, all right, Kirk, thanks for your time. And he's like, wait, is this like a pro BayLOR pod, or pro BayLOR, I'm trying to stay on, like we're doing fine, and they're like, oh, okay, sure. So they come up with another question, and literally right after they ask the question, line drive to first base, they double up Kramer, and he's like, all right, thanks guys, go Frogs. And he takes off his helmet and throws it down.
That's funny. No, I missed that.
It was
last note from this game, this would make 6 straight conference games of 5 or fewer runs. So glad we got the win, but didn't really do much to answer any questions about the offense.
Yeah. All right. Well, Frogs tied up 1-1. Moving on to game 3, second game that day. Much more comfortable game for the Frogs. They found themselves up 6-1 after 6 innings, including a home run from Gamster. They tacked on 4 more in the 9th inning, which kind of obviously put it away. They kind of took it away 10-2. So meanwhile, all right, it's time to talk about Zach James. So 3 straight quality wins. He's given up 1 run, which was on Sunday, in the last 22 innings, which I actually went back further, and it was like, I think it was Texas Tech, and he went 5 2/3 and gave up 2 or something. I mean, anyway, you can't count that as quality, but still very good.
In that start, MK.
What's that?
He only allowed 1 hit in that start
against Tech.
Yeah, he got some walk issues, which allowed the 2 runs, but it was only 1 hit through those 5 innings.
You don't want to mess with a good thing. Is there any reason to possibly move him around to like a Friday night deal?
They listened to the podcast and heard that Jacob said he didn't care about Fridays or Saturdays, just go out and win Sunday.
Yeah, guess so.
So let's throw our ace on Sunday.
Every Sunday.
That's
Okay,
not really what I never said I didn't care about Friday or Saturday. That wasn't my point. The point was no matter what happens on Friday or Saturday, they need to win Sunday.
and they've done that.
Yeah, they're
Well,
3-3.
Except for
They're 3-3.
yeah.
We'll take it, I guess.
So again, that was the question. Is there any reason? I think you guys can go into this more, later on the week. But is there any reason to mix up the rotation? Or are we thinking that there's any changes coming? I don't know. How the BayLOLr Brassfield thing's working on Fridays. It seems kind of clunky in my opinion.
Well, I mean, not to be in the breaking news business, but I think they're expecting Lepore back sooner than later.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I mean, even it's not really even breaking news. BayLOR's broadcast was talking about.
Oh, okay. I didn't know where the source was, but I know that's been
Lepore
floated out there.
Possibly coming back to pitch out of the bullpen starting next weekend.
It's always
this
funny
upcoming weekend
when somebody reports on something like a player responds on Twitter and who's your source? And like, literally me. It's just Tommy saying I'm coming back.
Just does the one tweet, I'm back.
So with that said,
are we done talking about Zach James? Because I have some notes.
Go for
it. Where do you think he ranks in terms of pitchers in the conference in ERA?
Is there a minimum inning threshold?
No, I got the rankings here. You can say top 10, top 20, whatever.
I'm going to say top 5.
He's got to be top 10. I'd say 6 or 7.
I'm going to go. I'm going to go third.
You're going to go 3?
Yeah.
Okay. How about number 1?
Yeah, because I was thinking, 20. He's pitched about 27 innings as a starter, and he's given up 1 run per game over those.
Well, right. To your point about innings pitched, he's 8th in innings pitched in the conference. I mean, he's gone deep into games.
Yeah, 7. Yeah. What was it? 7, 8, and 7 or something? I mean, he's.
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy.
The last 3 weeks.
Lance Davis sitting at 9th.
Okay.
Opponent batting average, Zach James is 5th. I mentioned that he is 8th in innings pitched. The only one he's not in the top 10 is strikeouts. Good. Yeah, let's see. Number 1 in runs allowed.
Pretty amazing. Number
2 in earned runs allowed behind Stormy Rhodes, who I believe is a reliever for Oklahoma State.
So, okay. So I'm not looking it up. As a transfer, is he a junior or senior?
Zach James?
Yeah.
He's a sophomore. He was a freshman last year. Big dog. Yeah.
All right. Looking good, boys. Looking good.
I'd say, he's the greatest pitcher in TCU baseball history.
Well,
in the last 3 games, maybe.
I mean, if he
sample size,
if he keeps up this exact performance for this year and the next 2 years, yeah.
Okay.
We could have that
so
conversation.
We might not get him the next 2 years.
Here's the article I need to look at: is 3-game sample size, best pitcher in TCU history.
I'd be hard pressed to find someone better.
Preston's up there.
I bet you I can find a 3-game streak of Preston Morrison
going nothing,
like 3 complete game shutouts or something crazy, or hell, even Perk or any of those guys. But that's an interesting exercise. Like,
okay,
see if there's a better 3-game stretch.
What else on Zach James before you head out?
I mean, it's a notch in the belt for the development staff. It's not, some transfer we brought in that's lighting it up. It's a guy we recruited and he had his lumps last year and now he's developed into a fine pitcher.
He's giving you something on Sundays that a lot of Sunday starters don't give you, which is length. Because usually your bullpen's pretty battered and tattered by rolling into the Sunday game. And he's giving you 7, 8 innings. And a lot of it, what Abel's him to go. Like he threw 110 pitches or so on Saturday. But dude, so many of those pitches are low leverage pitches because he's keeping the bases clean, not many guys on base. Just outstanding.
I mean, Lepore, Lance Davis, Zach James. I mean, those guys on a weekend, brother, all you got to do is hit 3 to 4 runs.
So winning that game, I mean, it's pretty massive for a postseason standpoint. Looking at the conference standings, we're sitting at 10-8. Kansas, West Virginia.
I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised they were 5th. I thought they'd be way lower than that. So
well, and that's kind of where I'm going. Is you have this gaggle of teams that are either 9-9 or 8-10.
Mm-hmm.
I would not want to be looking at these standings at 9-9 and sitting like 10th in the conference.
Right.
Yeah, like isn't
that'd
Baylor
be very depressing
like that after this weekend?
Oh yeah, TCU would be. Well, I guess they'd only drop a 1 at that point because of Kansas State there. But yeah, I mean, 2 more losses, you're 10 to 12. What a mess.
That
makes for exciting baseball.
That Arizona series is really going to be just a black mark on the season for the rest of the year. When we look at the conference standings, where would we be if, hell, even if we just won the series, maybe drop a game and that sucks, but losing that series, dude, yeah. I mean, we'd be tied for 3rd in the conference if we could have just beat Arizona. They're sitting at 6-12.
And I don't think they're moving much either, Well,
I'll tell you what, though. If they're able to sweep both Houston and Utah, and that follows a win on the road against BayLOR, I'm willing to say, okay, we can't cry about the Arizona series anymore. Because, I mean, Utah, they're sitting there at 9-9. So it's not, the 3 easy wins we thought it would be. Until you look at their home and road splits, they're 7-2 at home and 2-7 on the road.
That's wild.
So they come to Fort Worth. So we get the 2-7 team. We don't have to go play that 7-2 team that Tech got this weekend and got the broom for the second time this year.
TCU's going to put this new theory to the test of the cold, hot theory.
Yeah,
they can put together
cold, cool, super hot, flaming hot.
But they've positioned themselves where they can make a run, and the schedule.
Well, they position themselves where they have to make a run.
Well, yes, we're okay. They have to make a run. Yes.
What does it mean, though?
No doubt.
So Kansas is sitting in first place at 14-4. We're 10-8. Are you saying that we can overcome UCF, Arizona State, West Virginia, and Kansas, and have a shot at the conference?
Winning the conference in the regular season.
Well, yeah, I don't even care about the tournament right now until the tournament gets here.
You might need to care about it.
So let's say you swept the next 3 teams, which they won't. So Utah, what do we say? Houston, and then they play West Virginia at West Virginia.
Yeah, you have Oklahoma State on the road.
Oklahoma State. Okay.
Yeah.
And Oklahoma State's a weird team. I know they're extremely beat up. Like extremely, but they're kind of weird. Like,
yeah, they are 6-3 at home.
So best case scenario, you're looking at, you've got 12 games left in conference. If you won 10 of them, you're at 20.
No, you're right. Sorry. 12.
20-9. That would be, in my opinion, that's probably best case. You hit 20 wins in conference.
So you get 10 more. Man, that 20-9 would be best.
I'm just saying, you sweep Houston, you sweep Utah, and then you pick up
2 of 3.
Yeah, dude. The only problem is they've yet to prove. They've yet to prove they can sustain success. So
I'm not saying I believe it. I'm talking about best case scenario at this point. Like it would be silly to say, oh yeah, let's just win out.
Dude, if they end up with 20 conference wins, I'm feeling pretty dang good going into the Big 12 tournament.
Yeah, that's a 2 seed. You probably don't want to get in your regional.
Yeah, agreed.
But I think I realistically I don't think hosting or winning the conference should even be on the table.
No, I think we can probably avoid that convo just because it's not realistic.
Hosting's done.
Yeah.
I mean, if you quote you get hot, you're looking at a 2 seed.
Yeah, and I think that would be acceptable if they get to that point. What I'm worried about is going on the same thing you said, Jacob, is like going, hey, awesome, we won a BayLOr, and then losing a game against Houston, losing the series at Utah, like something stupid where it's like, well, now they're not even in the tournament,
Right, that's on the table too. The floor is missing the tournament. They have not eliminated that possibility, and that's just from the trends that they've showed where they're allergic to sustained success. So, big win on the road at BayLOr. Now, are you going to drop Friday night against Houston?
Right.
Now you got to follow it up and take the broom. You have to.
Well, that's what we said about Arizona, and they straight up lost that series. So who knows?
At home.
Yes.
All right.
But Houston's way worse than Arizona.
Good recap. What other notes you guys got before we chime out? There's going to be a lot more stuff on the Patreon Wednesday and Thursday, specifically Thursday, to talk about the deep dish, and you guys are going to go in deep to some stats and stuff that you guys are going to be very interested in if you are a subby.
My final thought is I thought their season was on life support going into that doubleheader. I thought it was a huge gut check time. I know they've had many gut checks this year, but it was nice to see them fight. And who knows, maybe that Chase Brunson home run that brought them back was that spark that kind of kicks off a run. I mean, we'll see.
Love it. Jacob, last thought?
Yeah, I just hope, because I don't expect, but I hope they can find consistent competitiveness and consistent energy instead of saying, we won a couple weekends in a row. Team like Arizona comes to town, now we can chill. I need that whole let's chill out energy eliminated.
So
I think
every game has to be full intensity.
I think they could get that. If you get TLP back out there, that dude's like their horse. That dude's energy personified.
Hey, quick question: Did Noah Franco pitch this weekend?
No,
I don't think so.
Didn't need him because you had Lance Davis go 7.
I mean, they went 5 pitchers on Friday and nothing worked. Everyone gave up a run or 2 or 4.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't pitch a little on Friday, but I don't know.
All right,
maybe that's something to talk about Thursday.
So final thought. So obviously we've had a good conversation about the positive pitching momentum. We're looking forward to that. Getting Laporte back would be monumental. But we're over halfway through the season. Nobody on the team is top 10 in the conference in batting average, slugging, on base percentage, hits, RBIs, doubles, or home runs. I'm gonna hope for regression to the mean on that one, and that somebody on this team is gonna pop into one of those, whether it's Sawyer, whether it's Chase, somebody out of nowhere. But you got to think that they can turn it around offensively at some point. And if not, then that tells me everything you need to know. They're not a tournament team. They're not going to go far. They're going to be a 3 seed in Austin and get drilled. So I'm just hoping for positive things on the offensive side to kind of match the good things that we've seen from the pitching. So
just to add on to that, just real quick, we've seen out of TCU offensive performances as the weather heats up, as the calendar flips to May, the bats kind of get going. And maybe we'll see that this year. We know it's in there. We know they're capable of it. Now we just got to go see it.
Maybe it's been rainy, Ray, and now the flowers are going to start coming out. pretty soon.
The more flowers that come out, the more my nose goes haywire.
All right. Enjoyed the conversation, fellas. Good recap on the boys. And it's always good to have a 3-in-1 week, a successful weekend for frog ball. So good to hang out with you for a little bit. And we've got DBU tomorrow and then
Maybe.
Houston this weekend. All right. So
Yes, sir.
we'll see y'all at the ballpark and go Frogs.
Frogs.
Go Frogs.